Welcome back to an episode of We Are Going to Do Some Oil Stuff, because why not? And also maybe some adjustments on this crafting thing right here. Actually, one other thing I need to do is get myself into another area. Like, this is just 200 and whatnot K. How much is that? 155. Actually, there's an awful lot of iron up here, and I have to consolidate all of that somehow. Okay. Oh wait, what is this? Some stone. I could just walk or maybe drive around here, but maybe that takes a very long time. Anyway, there's also this one. Refined flammables. Increase the damage of fire-based weaponry. That sounds good. That sounds amazing. Let's do that. Let's just improve all of that. So how does that one work and how does that one work? I need crude oil and the flamethrower. That's actually quite nice. It is a very simple thing that you need. Only problem is you need steel in order to make that, right? Like this one is very simple. You only need iron plates, and it does not get as complicated as it would be. So area of effect size, that one, yeah, we could try to burn it with fire. Only problem, can you? Nope. Can you actually change the weapon on this one? Vehicle machine gun. Maybe there's a vehicle? Vehicle car or something? Yeah. There's the automobilism. Oh, there we go. We got a tank. And what is this? Long range. Kind of mounted on a turret or train wagon. Nice. I'm actually looking for something else. Artillery shell shooting speed. Sure. I mean, it's nice that we have artillery on a tank. Offensive vehicle capable of mounting various weapons. Sounds like plural to me. Alright. So that is pretty neat. What about uranium ammo? Absurd. Alright. Do I need a few more buildings in order to make the whole oil stuff go? I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let's just move on a little bit. And yeah, I actually wanted to do something with the flamethrower. No. No, I don't have any steel on me anymore, which is not good. But right. Let's see what we can do up here. Yeah, this is our crude oil. That's what we can do. So, output power is 0 for some reason, which is weird. Like this one is working, this one is working. Maybe because nothing is pushing anymore, like everything is filled up. That might be the reason. This one, for example, is also full of plastics. Perfect. That's nice, that's nice, that's nice. So, I wanted to make myself some of these thingies here. And I need sulfur and advanced circuits for that. Sulfur and advanced circuits. Let's just place a few of them in here. We take this one. Sulfur and advanced circuits. Advanced circuits need, of course, normal and plastics and copper and so on. I definitely need another iron supply just to make that work. Okay, how would I do that? I need also maybe a slightly faster belts, or I really have to go for the railway station for that. And that's the thing. The problem that I have is with this is that it's just awful lot of items that I need. But at least you get 2 railways out of this. So 1 iron plate and 1 gear. 1 iron stick. Wait a minute. Where do you make iron sticks? There we go. 1 iron plate turns into 2 sticks. Alright. And then there's the steel plate, which is 1 burn iron. Yeah, it says that it needs steel for some reason, but steel is also supposed to be iron plates, right? So it uses 2 iron plate. No, 1 iron plate, actually. Or does it? 1.5 iron plates, actually, yes. 1.5 iron plates and a little bit of coal, to be honest. But yeah, I could try that on my own. Problem is, runs automated schedules and pulls rolling stock. The problem is, how do I know, or how... how do I make it stop, right? That's the thing. And it needs a ton of engines. Ugh. Alright, but we are not going to craft anything by hand anymore. We are going to try to make assembly lines that are really, really good. So, let's see. Except for maybe the transport belts. Like, this is something that we can do by hand. I could try to make some of these, though. Because I need to power the copper field, which is down there. But which is... Actually, I could do something different. Wait a minute. Let's just get this one. And that one. Oh, this is actually a very nice way of crafting extremely fast. That's good. That's really good. So, the reason why I went down here was because there's a nice attachment point. I just need to make sure that it's in range. So, there we go. Does it still? Yes. Alrighty. Let's get out of there. And start building a few more of those drills. Actually, I need more drills. Yeah, where do the drills come from? I can only make one more drill. Eee, that's not good. Not good. I need more of those. Definitely not cool. Okay. Let's see. Must be a decent amount. Okay, got those. And let's just move them all to the west. Then I need these, and just need to... The thing is, you need to connect all of them, right? Like... There, at least that one works. And then I also need... Okay, wait. We only move the raw resources, right? We don't try to fiddle with it too much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it upwards. Actually, this might be very, very iffy thing. Let's use the car instead. There we go. Whoa! Okay. Very nice way of crafting extremely fast. Okay. I'm just not as good in terms of holding the line. Let's just place this. Oh no, that's not good. Cannot reach. Wait a minute. There we go. I have to be like right next to it in order to gather that, which is a wee bit iffy. But at least now we have it slightly. Oh, we can actually drive across it. That's pretty sweet. That's really cool. Okay. And from over there, we're going to turn it to the right. And now I don't have any more belts anymore. Great. Absolutely great. I need more iron plates and iron gears for that. Yeah, about that. The iron is supposed to come from the western area, though. Oh, you don't really see the string if you drive extremely fast. Is there no underground cable way? That would be sweet. Sweet. Okay, so we got that one done. And what up next? Up next is... what was it? Iron plates and iron gear wheels, but there was a thing, some place which had tons of these just stored, and I could just pick them. Yeah, I have a decent amount of inserters here, so let's just take all of them, half of them. Shift and left click, yeah. Oh, come on, really? Oh, come on, it should... How many do I have? 700. Yeah, I think that's okay. Maybe a few more, just in case. Let's go for 1k and we're good. Inventory is almost full. But yeah, let's just keep the coal. For resins, of course. What was the other one? Yeah, we need some electrical components, something like that. And therefore we take all of those. And maybe some gears. No, gears? I do have a ton of gears though. Steel, I also have a little bit of steel. Then, what's the stuff that I don't need that much of? Actually, yeah, coal. I mean, it's nice to have coal available, yes, but not in these slightly too high quantities, I would say. There we go. Just a little bit of coal, a little bit of open space, and then we need, yeah, those medium poles. Wait a minute. They can be made with copper plates, steel plates, and iron sticks. Yeah. Copper plates are over here. Steel plates are come from over here, and then iron sticks and so on. But I also need to figure out a nice way of... Wait a minute, I don't have any more of them in my inventory, do I? No, 33. Okay, I still got a little bit. I need to figure out a nice way of making sure to have everything connected to the grid, of course. Okay, wait a minute. That one is going strong. It's saturated. Alright. So, let's see. Let's take that and move it further to the right. Alright. So, what do we need to make all of that stuff? Electronic circuits. And electronic circuits are these iron plates and copper cables. So, iron plates. Where do we get the iron from? There is another iron deposit somewhere. Completely different. And I kind of forgot that I wanted to get those. Totally forgot. Totally forgot about those. Alright. Let's quickly go back. Get a few iron plates. Whoa. Right. Where do I usually store the iron plates? Somewhere up here, right? Yeah. Somewhere up here. Somewhere up here. There we go. And my inventory is full, of course. But we don't care. Okay, that should do it. Hopefully that does, yeah. And then I also need... Okay, a little bit like that. So, next up is the area with the additional iron. This thing up here, so top and left. It could be a wee bit more complicated than I thought. Really? Okay. Let's just cut ourselves a way through here. Mind while anyone is in it. What do you mean? It can be mined while someone is in it, but in this case it's the tree that I want to mine and nothing else. So, next iron deposit. The thing is absolutely huge. Small, but huge. Right. Okay, let's quickly get out of here so we have a bit more wiggle room. So, let's see. Let's make it so that... Should I get like tons of those at once? I think something like that would be alright. Something like that would also be alright. And then... Yeah, one like so. And then one like that. That should be okay, I would say. That one goes down. That one goes down. And this one goes towards the right over there. Oh, wait. Forgot about the electricity. That one is necessary, of course. Let's just place that right here. And connect it back to the base, which is supposed to be somewhere down there. There we go. Okay, got it. Sweet. I could just turn the whole thing down in order to utilize it further, but no, I want to push the whole thing towards the right. Come on. I'm going to get a wee bit closer. There we go. Oh, it actually holds the direction. That's quite nice. That's really neat. Because now what I can do is just hold it and drive like that. Whoa. Ooh, okay. And drive like that. But should I go upwards or downwards? I'm not quite sure. I think I should go downwards just to keep the building and everything on one level or so. So maybe I could just cut down a little path through the wilderness. That would be a very nice idea, though. That would be a really nice idea. Only problem is I don't know what to do with the trees themselves, right? That's the iffy bit. I mean, yeah, usually there's some red trees in the way. Yeah, sure. Okay. Nah, let's not cut anything down. Let's try to make it work like that. Come on, hold it, hold it, hold it. There we go. And to the right. Oh, that's actually quite a nice way of crafting stuff. Only issue is I have no idea where I'm going. Cannot reach. Sure, you can't reach it. Come on. I want to see if this thing is in the way or not. There we go. No. Yeah, gonna take that one away here. And that one gets just cut. Oh. Placed right through. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. So, and upwards. And, wait a minute. Upwards and to the right. And then, I'm gonna do a really cool thing. I'm gonna combine it. There we go. I'm gonna combine it with the copper line over here, so that I save myself some precious. There we go. Like that. Perfect. So, let's see. Can I get another level up? No, not for the flammables though. Do we have something else? I mean, I could go with productivity or speed modules or efficiency. Like, efficiency is nice and all. When it comes to logic, I'm not quite sure what to do with logic though. But let's just research the whole thing. Good. Yeah, the iron is coming slowly but surely. That one goes up here. It's kind of combined in... Wait a minute. Good question. Why... is that only one line? Ah, because they're only placed on one line there. Oh, okay. I need to... Wait a minute. Need to make sure that if I place, let's say, some other copper mines down here that point upwards, that the orientation of this thing is still kept, right? So this one is supposed to come from the right side all the time, so it does not mix things up. So that's why I placed that one down here. Anyway, I think we have a decent amount of copper. The iron is coming in a moment. And once we have all of that, I can use like filter inserters or maybe a splitter. Yeah, I think the splitter would be a better solution. That was quick. Developing dangerous yet controllable explosives. Oh, better weaponry. Yes. And landmines. Yes. And rockets. Yes. Are the rockets necessary for anything? Power armor MK2. Yeah, that's good. Destroyer and so on and so forth. There are nice little shenanigans. Focus light capable of causing damage. Yeah, but this is something different. Advanced oil processing. This is something that I want to do. I just need the blue research thingies first. Stronger explosives. One. Increases the damage of explosive weaponry. Nah, let's just... I just want to have the Q going for it. That would be so sweet. Wait a minute. T. Yeah, that one needs the blue stuff again. Alright, let's get out of here and have a little save for that just in case. Anyway. Let's just take this thing and the fast thingamajig. Wait a minute. This one goes down here. So I have to... Yeah, yep. gonna have to get rid of it. Or maybe there's a way to override the whole thing. Anyway, this thing needs like sulfur and engine units. Sulfur and engine units. Like, we cannot make sulfur. Like, sulfur comes from a chemical plant, or maybe a refinery or something like that. It could be a chemical plant, actually. Ah, no, did I? Where's the chemical plant? There's 4 of them up here. Yeah, that one produces sulfur. Right, so it needs water and, of course, some oil for that. Great. I could use a splitter for that thing. Yeah, I could definitely use a splitter for that thing. If I turn it like that, it doesn't... Yeah, okay, it needs to be normal pipes for that one to make sense. There we go. And now that one is, I think, not connected anymore, right? Yeah, it could be. That could be it. Because then I need to place the underground thingy a little bit further to the side. Let's just take this one away again. Maybe take this one away as well. Take that. And place the inserter like that. Then we need, of course, the other thingamajig, this one over here. Place it like so. And I wanted to get some petroleum, wasn't it? No, this one. So let's take that one away. And then what we're gonna do is... This one is... Oh, okay. Ah, no. It only goes this way. Oh, come on. That's not cool. That's not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Okay, so I need like normal pipage for all of that stuff, which is a bit of a fee. So that one goes over here. Great. Now the whole thing is working again. And then I wanted to split this. Oh, you can actually fudge your way through. Anyway, I wanted to fudge my way through here. And that one goes an awfully long way. So let's turn this all the way down. Then, let's take this processing plant thingy. And that one goes over here. We need some sulfur, as I said. And this is the petroleum thing. And then we need, of course... Actually, let's go with normal pipes for that one. Like that. And... like this. And then I'm gonna place like that. Oh, that's so convoluted. Is there... Oh, okay. So you basically just place 2 of them, and then you hope that it works. Okay, the water is closer towards the northern section, though. Just a wee bit iffy. There we go. Yeah, that's sadly not working. Ah, come on. Need to get the bends right for that. Cannot turn this around. Like, you can only put it into the grind and let it come out of it again in the same direction that you placed before. If you want to place a bend, you have to use a normal pipe in order to get the 90-degree thingy going. Right, and let's go for the 90-degree thingy again. Where? Okay. Come on, there we go, down through here, down through here. Okay, that's the 90-degree thing again. And now we're just going to pipe the whole thing towards the top like that. Okay, now I just need some pump for the water, which I should actually have a pump somewhere in here, I think. Or, no, I don't. Okay. Let's get 5 pumps ready. That one goes up here. The pipes go down there. Now everybody's happy. Right. And yeah, we got the night vision. Let's get belt immunity. Don't need it though. Right. Then I of course need this thing to connect to this thing over here. Now it creates stuff, I hope. An awful lot, an awfully quick way. Very nice. Then, what's actually the recipe for that thing? You always have to select it. If you click on X, then it gets rid of the recipe for it, which is a bit iffy. A wee bit iffy. So, then whatever's coming out of it gets turned into these things. Right. Wait a minute. How would I make the lab work, right? Because in order to get the research going in the labs, I think they are not interconnected. You need all of those things in there. Think. Really iffy. Okay, let's go for those signals. And this one is also, yeah, without power, at least for now. So yeah, we take this one, and we need the advanced circuit, of course. And the advanced circuit needs the normal circuit. So this is the advanced circuit. And it needs the normal circuit. Wait a minute. Another way would be to make sure to pipe the whole thing to the central location. But wait a minute. I do have all of the resources that I need, right? I got coal, I got iron, and I got copper. I can make whatever kind of research buildings right here. Maybe I can take all of the research components and utilize them somehow else. Or maybe I can make myself a research belt. That could work. That's a wee bit iffy. Like, you need a mix in the labs so that it works. You can't just have, let's say, the red science pack in one lab and the green science pack in the other and hope for it to work. You need both of them in one science pack, in one lab building, and then it would work. And that's the iffy bit. So, anyway, that's the green stuff, and then we take that one away, and we're gonna place, of course, the green stuff right there. And I wanted to have like a slightly different setup for that, right? So maybe a bit shifted so that we can, like, damn it, that was a wrong one. Where's the assembler? Assembler was over here. So anyway, slightly shifted. There we go. Copper and copper cables. So wait a minute. That one could come. Ooh, another copper cables. Yeah, we are going to supply it all. No, what? Yeah, let's connect it in this fashion. Let's hope that it works. Or do I need like a bit more space? Or did I actually place this the right way? I don't know. Wait a minute. I could have placed it the right way, right? I hope so. I hope so. Huh. Yeah, because you can actually move it a little to the left. You can place one here, one there. But this is the other crystalline solution. So, let's get rid of this rock real quick. Right. Let's just place the whole thing. And then we're going to fill it with whatever recipe assembly thingy that we can make. So, let's see. Let's take that one over here. That one over there. That one over there. Okay. Move the whole thing a little bit to the side. Good. Get ourselves, of course, a bit more of these. Right. So our finished product is, of course, the research all the time. So research. Research needs engines for some reason. Or maybe I should place it in the... Nah, I shouldn't place it in the center. Anyway, this is where it ends up at. And... 3 things. An engine. Yeah, it needs engines. Engines. So this one will be engines then. I'm just going to move the engines upwards or downwards or whatever. So then of course it needs more of the red stuff, more of the green stuff. This one just gets closed off. Then of course we need some sulfur. The sulfur I would say I would provide from the side. So this is my sulfur provider, and then I'm just going to split it up a little bit if that works. I could try to like take, yeah, place that one on a line like so and like so. That one needs what? Steel gears and pipes. So, steel gears and pipes. I did not think of that. Did not think of that. Did not think of that. Like, you need to have some open space in here in order to make the whole thing work much easier. Anyway, steel and cables. So that one will be the cables. And then I'm gonna take... Yeah, what could I melt in here? I need a filter inserter, to be honest. Actually, no, that might be an iffy bit. So wait a minute. Filter inserter is like 12 and 10.5. 12 and 10.5. 22 something. This might be more expensive, right? Than a filter inserter, but I need 2 filter inserters to make that work, so a normal splitter would do the trick just fine, it seems. So what we're gonna do is we have some output priority towards the left. No, left is going to be iron ore. Let's see if that works or not. There we go. Nice. Ah, that's perfect. So you only select one of them and not 2 of them. It would be nice to have like multiple selectors for that, but yeah, now we're talking. Okay, so I actually made it in a slightly iffy manner here, but all right. Let's see. This one will be copper things. Let's place that in like so. And just... wait a minute, that's the wrong way. There we go. Now it gets filled with stuff. So, this is where that one is going. Then this one needs iron. And this one also needs iron. Iron. I wanted to make a nice setup though, but the thing is that it, like, everything needs to have another 3 inputs and another 3 inputs and so on and so forth. So at one point you actually end up not having enough space, so I really need some in-betweeny things for that. There we go. Not cool. Or maybe I should go with directions, like north, west, or something like that. Or in this case, everything in here is a slightly different object, right? So this one is not red. This one could be... Yeah, this one could be the cables. Okay, wait a minute. Let's just take all of this complexity away real quick. There we go. The scaling comes afterwards, right? We just try to make one thing only. So, this has the things that we need for now. Then... Right, and then we are going to craft something up here. This one, yeah, iron and copper. The copper is coming from up here, and the iron is coming from over here. And this one needs, of course, the plate. And that means we are going to use a... Oh, do I have an electric furnace, though? Haven't I researched that recently? Steel furnace. Oh, wait a minute. That's the thing. Advanced material processing. It takes a while until I can use that, though. Iffy. Okay, that means I need to get some nice fuel to burn it. That means I need to split this thing here. That means I need another splitter, like so. And split the whole thing down like that. And down like that. Whoop. Okay. Now we got ourselves the raw resources. Only thing I need is a nice input, depending on what I need. I would say I kind of messed it up by combining everything with, or like taking it apart with splitters. Let's not make it too complicated. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. So, now we need, of course, a steel furnace, which needs to be... Oh. Input somehow. So, steel furnace is this thing. And, of course, it goes with... How could I make that work? I don't think... Okay, I need a long inserter and a short inserter for that to work, sadly. So, long inserter is for this thing. And then I'm gonna make like a few shorter ones as well. That one is there for the coal. Then we're gonna place like another few up here. Right. This one is going to make us some copper, and metal. Actually, if the copper goes all the way up here, then I don't... no. Ugh, come on. Anyway, let's just keep the rest stuffed here. We don't need to make it too perfect. Let's just place stuff over here, stuff over there, and everything's fine. The whole thing should just do its thing. Perfect. Oh, okay. So when it comes to these situations, it would be nice to have a filter inserter. But switch these lanes around. So the coal lane is always the one further away. That would make sense. Anyway, we got that one done. Then I need to take all of these and place them, of course, in one of those assemblers. Let's move this one away again, just in case. Assemblers, right. Assemblers. Can't you just have, like, two different inputs? Like, the oil coming from the left instead of the right? Whatever. I need to take some out of here, some out of there, some out of there. And let's just place this thing up here. And now everything has electricity. Perfect. Right. Then, what we're going to do is I am going to catch these... Actually, no. We're not going to catch anything. Right now, what we can do is keep the buildings somewhat complex-ish? I don't know. Nope. We need to keep it as a separate supply line over here. That one goes up here. And now I have the raw materials. Right, I could make it like that. I just have one single feed line for that. That could do the trick just fine. Now, in order to make that work again, we need to like place that like so. And then we're gonna place one of them up here, like that, like that. Okay. So let's try to make this again. The thing is, I don't know if I should go forwards or backwards, but somehow in the middle of all of that, I will end up with a somewhat of an iffy situation. That is not cool. Alright. Now, I need the chemical thing. The chemical thing gets placed up here. The engine can be this one. Then I need these components. And the other thing was the sulfur. Whatever. This thing needs metal. Metal is coming from the copper from over here. Both of them, right? And this one also needs plastics. Okay. So I need to feed it with plastics as well. That's a whiffy bit. I need to feed it with plastics. So what if I just go this way over here? Take that one away completely. And I could make a plastic line like that. And I wanted to make it simple though, right? Simple my ass. Not so simple at all. So let's go through the ground. And down there. To the right. Like so. Okay. Now, where was I? The copper gets placed in. What's happening here? Oh, okay. I really need filter inserters, otherwise we have a little bit of an issue. And I need to change this this setup here a little bit. Definitely not thought of that well. All right, and this one goes to the west. And down. Oh no. Something like that could work. Yeah, that's going well. Okay. So as I said, I need some filter inserters. So filter, 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 and filter. This one will be filtering iron only and iron only. Okay, it doesn't matter which direction now. But it would. No. Let's keep the original setup at least as it was, so we don't mess with it too much. There we go. All right. Let's take this one out, and that one is. That one is sadly empty. That one needs to get filled. Something is wrong with that thing. Something is definitely wrong. Oh yeah, and this is copper and this is copper. Right. Then I need to get rid of this mix line over here and have to reapply the whole thing again. There we go. Wait. I don't know what's happening and why it's not working. This one is not working because it has no input, because it needs to be fed some of these units first, otherwise it won't work. Interesting. Damn it! That was iffy. Okay, I messed it up yet again. Not cool. Not cool. Alright. Now it's working. Alright. No more hiccups. So, back to the actual idea. So this one needs copper, of course. Let's give this one copper. And it gives only the thing in here that is that it needs, right? So this one is more usable. It doesn't need to be a filter inserter for that, which is great. So this one needs metal and copper other thingies. So in this case, the metal is coming from here. The copper is coming from over there, right? Then this thing needs, of course, copper and the electric circuits. So in this case, what we can do is something like this and something like that. Hopefully this one produces enough in order to facilitate everything. As long as it gets saturated and it stops at some point, right? It means that all of the other pathways are filled up as well. So there's no way it should not work, to be honest. So we got this one. Let's play a little zigzag over here. And then, what's the third one? Sulfur. Yeah, actually, this is it. This is a very simple setup, if you think about it. You just have to build it first. You know, just have to actually do the thing. Now, wait a minute. Where's petroleum going into? Into the sulfur. Wait a minute. Ah, there. Okay. Petroleum. Petroleum. Plastic thing. So, plasticky goes over here. Right. So we got plastics, we got electricity, we got that stuff. And, a better way would be to have this chemical plant right down here. Because I don't know about its space, though. Let's see. It does seem to fill the same ports, right? So you can maybe squash it right in there. So that the outcome of its crafting is actually exactly similar to all of the other assembly lines and so on. So you don't need to buffer them on the belts like that. And anyway, because these are two different kind of setups here. One of them is pipes and the other one is not pipes. This is why it gets a wee bit iffy. But maybe what you can do, right, is connect them together without pipes, right? And only take the input and an output and connect them together, and then everything is working. That would be even smoother, to be honest. That would be amazing. But anyway, this way at least we have a nice way of splitting things up even better. So, where was I? Sulfur, sure. Sulfur is coming in here, so let's take that out and give it a special line run like that. Then sulfur goes in here, this one goes in here, these parts go in here. Then we need, of course, some steel and some gear and some pipe in order to make that work. Steel, gear and pipe. This is not even close. Okay, wait a minute. Let's build it in another fashion, like so. Steel and pipe. Like, pipe is one of the more complex ones, so let's place the pipe in here. Pipe needs... Oh, pipe only needs steel. And gear needed also steel. Okay. And... Oh, not see. And this one is going for steel. But steel needs to be made in one of these things. Actually, it needs to be a furnace, right? And a furnace is driven, of course, by coal, yet again. So what I need to do is get myself a good steel furnace. Actually, I need more furnaces. Just in case. Where's the furnace? Furnace. There. I need more stone brick. Oh, come on! Every time. At least I have one more of those ready. Can't scale it, but at least it is there-ish. Actually, if you think about it, what if we... Yeah, what if I take that one and place it a little bit lower, like that, right? And then what I can do is yeah, that one just gets... that one gets filled, yeah, but... let's take this inserter and take another inserter like that one, right? Right, that one gets placed somewhere else. Let's take that one. That one gets placed over here. This one down here. What was that? Steel, right. Steel. Steel is necessary for other things, of course. Let's go with a splitter to keep those two separate. To the right will be steel only. Oh, that was stupid. Let's see, let's split them down here. That makes more sense. So, the right will be, of course, on. Right, that one goes down here, and the iron goes along. Goes this way, and that way. And that one goes over here. The steel has to go directly into the engine part, right? Yeah. So in this case, what I need to do is I need to tunnel this thing right through. It's still not perfect. I should have actually just placed this furnace right next to it, so I don't have multiple item runs in here with the steel and so on. Only make the things that you need when you need them. Maybe what I can do is like have a... oh, that's a very good idea. I can use a belt that just goes around it, right? So in this case it goes like this, and then like that, and like that, right? All the time. And all of the items that are raw resources, like all of those ores, are accumulating on the outsides. Maybe there's yeah, there's an outer ring here. Or maybe just a U-shape or whatever. Actually, no, not a U-shape. U-shape isn't good because a U-shape can stop. We don't want it to stop. We want it to continue, right? But yeah, maybe we can have like one or maybe even two lines like that. Actually, a little bit closer so that the grabbers can actually grab across, right? And the idea behind it is that in the center of it, this is where the crafting happens, and in this case we get closer and closer and closer towards the center point, with the most advanced setup being done there, right? Okay, that's something that I could try, so I don't need to move petroleum and other things around all the time. Anyway, I wanted to get underground, of course, so this one goes over here, and this one goes over there, and then of course we end up with this thing up here like that and like that, with the grabber grabbing whatever that is and placing it in here. And yeah, this one can only be this one can only be steel. There's no other way of doing that. The iron has to be placed not only here but also in there. Wait a minute. The gears, right? I could place the gears in here. Okay, yeah, let's not make it too complex. Let's take all of this back again. Take the gears because they are the more advanced thingy that we need. Place them in... Actually, we need to have a bit more space here. Just a wee bit more space. So I wanted to get the crystalline structure going, right? And the pipes can go this way. Pipes are like logistics things. These are gears and stuff. So this needs on, this needs on. The steel is just getting funneled through here somehow. I think I messed it up again, didn't I? Yeah, damn it, I messed it up again. I should have just kept it. I should have just kept it. So this one goes up and up and to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Then of course we get the other grabber, which grabs from over here and there. Then of course we get this grabber over here. And then of course this one needs the metal. Huh. Yeah, this one needs the metal. And this one gets it from this location. And this one gets it from that location, I would say. So that means that one goes in here, goes down here, goes down here, and then it stops right there. Okay, now only thing we need is like a decent amount of current. Where is it? Starting from... Let's go for maximum distribution. Let's hope that it works. Oh, come on. Really? Maximum distribution? My ass. It's... Ah! Come on. It's right where it should have been. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool. But I can't make it perfect anyway. So close, man. So close. Can't even reach it. Oh, wait. This thing is also needed. Oh, come on. So, how long does it take until the whole thing is working? Also... this one needs... Oh, this one also needs iron. Ugh. There's so much iron that we need. But wait a minute. The iron is supposed to come from over here. Why is the iron not working? Because the... Oh, there's no iron in it. The last thing that it did was iron. Sadly, you can't choose the recipe for this to work, which is a wee bit iffy. So yeah, let's just take the ore. Wait a minute. Why don't I have any ore on me? Nah, whatever. Let's just place that over here. Over there. No, it works. Let's facilitate it. And this one grabs that stuff. I don't know why the steel furnace isn't working. Huh. Huh. This one uses iron. This one uses copper. This one uses copper again. This one is going for coal, 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 coal. This one is maxed out. This one for some reason... Okay, what if I go for copper on this one? Nothing. Somehow this seems to be broken. I don't know why. How do I... That's not good, that's not good, that's not good. Right click to clear, yes. Okay, something is off. It should work, but it doesn't. No ingredients. Of course it has no ingredients, but because there's iron supposed to be in here. This one has no ingredients because it is supposed to take it from the transport belt. So, and it's supposed to take it from the filter inserter, right? Waiting for sources. Waiting for sources. There are sources in here. Or maybe it needs to move. Maybe the stuck belt kind of... Okay, maybe it has nothing to do with the stuck belt. Maybe it's the filter inserter itself. No. Is it an electrical problem? Nah, it can't really be. What's going on? Okay, I need to know why this thing is not working. I mean, the long inserters are doing their thing, right? They just take it from here and then they place it in here, and there's always fuel in there anyway. Then this one is working with the copper, so it is able to take the one on the closer side, but usually it takes from the far side. So what's going on here? Why is that one not working? Waiting for source items. Waiting for source items. Waiting for source items. This one is filled to the brim, and then nothing else is happening anymore. Like this one goes from left to right, from left to right, from left to right. Even the steel thingy kind of worked. Okay, what's going on? Why is it not working? That's so strange. Huh. Or maybe it's the splitter that's messed up. How could I clear the split? How could I take items from here? Maybe control and clear. No. Nah, that's not working. Let's take this one away and that one, and place the splitter in reverse. So the right is of course the R, and then the whole thing is now moving. This one is working. Yeah, this one is working. This one is just taking it out. This one does not get any additional fuel. Oh, come on. What's going on? Why is it not working? Why are those inserters not going to do anything? Waiting for source items. It's not that this inserter has anything in its hand, does it? So let's see. If I take this one and place it in here, it does its thing, right? It does its thing, and then it just stops. It places it in here. For some reason, this iron plate is oh, iron plate. We don't want to do that. Now it works. Oh, so stupid. Oh, now I see it. Oh, shit. I need to get the coal going. Or the ore itself. I need to get the ore itself. Jesus Christ. Now it makes sense. I was wondering why it's not working. Okay. Now we got it. That was just ridiculous. Ridiculously stupid. Oy, 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 oy. Yeah, these are the small problems that you just don't see. You see copper? Why is it not working? Source items? Yeah, there's copper there. But not in a state that it's supposed to be at. Right. So this is our little assembly machine thingamajig for everything. Only issue is I need to maybe scale it. The thing is, I want to scale it in a simple fashion, right? That means I scale the whole compound instead of scaling engines, for example, right? I just want this specific setup here. But then I need to make sure that I have the corresponding inputs as well. Okay, so scalability is still somewhat of an issue when it comes to that. I want simple scalability like this, so I don't need to place as many belts, but I still ended up placing a lot of belts, which is not good, because I place it in the wrong enough fashion. Could have been a wee bit better though. Alright, so what about the circuit network? How does that work? The circuit network is a system that allows transfer of information between machines. You can connect machines to the circuit network using the red wire and the green wire. The network can carry integer values of -2 over 31, which is a very large negative number, 2 million roughly, minus to positive, individually for each signal type. It is not required to use the circuit network to finish the game, but allows a lot of fun contraptions or fine-tuned factory optimizations that wouldn't be possible without. It definitely is a nice way of introducing more control over buildings and stuff, so you can like activate certain things and so on, especially when it comes to mobility, right, like train stations and stuff. Yeah, that one stopped. That one takes all of the things. That one is doing quite a nice job. So let's take the inserter and insert it into a chest. Bam. Right. Now we get ourselves decent amount of fuel. So, now, next one is, of course, some landmines. Let's just research this stuff over here. How could I make that work? Actually, I could have... Could I have just flipped the whole thing around or something? No. Problem is that this one is coming from the sulfur thing. But this is always an end product, right? So sulfur is the end product, as well as plastic is an end product. That means they can be placed on the outer parts of our little assembly line. Yeah. And then what I'm doing there is just I'm going to pipe the whole thing through so it's getting connected and supplied with the right materials. Similar to this. But yeah, this is still the wrong way of doing it, to be honest. I need to get the furnaces as makeshift assembly machines on the outside as well. So the furnaces and the chemical plants have to be placed on the outside, and then they supply the whole center of that stuff in there. The other way would be to... yeah, they supply everything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix multiple lanes together with items, and then I'm going to make the lanes go in a circle so they always repeat, they're always moving, so that the grabbers can always have the opportunity to get the right item for the assembly machine. And then with a splitter, right, I can basically split like a long input and a short input, so that the outer lane goes into the inner lane and so on and so forth. So what I mean by this is actually something quite simple. So we have this one, let's say, is the inner lane, right? Then we have an outer lane. Doesn't really matter where it goes. Maybe we can even have a third lane or something like that to make it even more complex, to introduce another layer of items. So it basically just goes in circles, and it has to be expanded a lot in order to supply all of this, right? The other way would be to have those thingies around one of those complexes, and then I just interweave them. So this one is in here, then another one goes like to the right, and then there's another crafting complex over here, and so on and so forth. That would be interesting change there. Anyway, because I don't really have control over, and I'm kind of lazy about placing all of the inserters a little bit. So I want it simple and only have the normal inserters, and they can only grab from one adjacent lane like that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a splitter in here that splits this part over here, and then I'm going to place another splitter, actually, and maybe this was the wrong way of doing that. But anyway, so now this one splits it with this. So let's see. Yeah, let's. That was wrong there. What button do I have to place in order to make that work? Like Y, wasn't it? So now this thing is basically going all over the place. So let's place another one here. So this is the coal. For simplicity reasons, let's just get some stone in here. And now all of it gets mixed, right? I just want it to be random and moving forward in a little bit, so everything gets mixed and evened out, and there's a chance for the grabbers to always get the right item. This is such a nice way of doing that. I use randomness. Great. I don't need to make it perfect, which would be the ideal way, but I'm introducing some kind of chaos around it, and the chaos just facilitates it automatically. So then let's get some rocket systems. Right. How do I destroy all of that? Yeah, it takes a little while then, right? Ah, it's so sweet. It's so... What happens if we're not getting shoulder about, right? No. Not us. Not us. So let's see what this happened. Yeah. They switch lanes all the time. Wait a minute. Let's just... These switched about. This one switched about as well. So this is... Sometimes they stay at the location and sometimes they flip, right? Because it's always a back and forth. There's a certain counter in here that counts all of the objects, I think. And if it comes across an object that it has flipped before, it stops the flip and takes the next one. So there's like one coal, then the third coal, and the fifth coal, and the seventh coal, and so on. And every other coal does not get moved about. I think. It's weird. It's absolutely weird, but I think it's amazing. It's ingenious. It's absolutely ingenious. Only iffy thing about that, though, is that it is a wee bit iffy to destroy all of that. Because I can just hold right click, but I can't move it extremely quickly. There's always this certain delay that you have to wait. Alright. Next one. So, somehow there's no iron accumulated in here, because... Why? The iron is getting... Oh. There's not enough iron in here. That's not good. Because it splits into steel first. That is not cool. That means, I need to move all of this a little bit further up or something, so that it works. Okay, how much of these do we have? 25. It definitely does not accumulate that much, because the engines take an awfully long time to build. And it only depends on the iron. Yeah, it depends on the iron. So, we need to make more iron, of course. And iron is supposed to come from over here. And we are going to do what with the iron? Let's just take this, so it doesn't accidentally do anything bad. Also, we're going to switch this a little bit. This one is going to go and get us some iron. Wrong iron. Again, it's always the wrong one. There we go. Then, I'm just going to place another one like these up here. Let's hope it works. There we go. Then I need the last furnace. So, where's my filter inserter? There. Filter inserter for this thing. And, of course, a long-handed inserter like that. And the filter inserter goes for the copper, actually. Right. Okay, so copper goes down. Actually, a little bit to the right, and then down and down, and this one gets. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. We're gonna place it like that. That's the wrong one. Like so. Right. What's going on here? Let's take that one away. Take that one away. Take that one away. And this one. There. Right. This one is supposed to go this way. This one is supposed to go down. And to the right, actually. This one is going up and then right. Ah, there we go. And we set it up the way it's supposed to. And it's only the copper that's somewhat not good enough. Actually, maybe I don't even need that much copper. Maybe I should switch the whole thing up again, but at least we end up with a decent amount now. Yeah, the copper is just going in here, and okay, there are two entries for the copper. There's actually one, two, wait a minute. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 2. Okay, 4 versus 2. That's basically a 1 to 2 ratio. So this is definitely not the right one. This one is going to go for iron like that. Let's take all of the copper out. And Damn it, I missed this one. I messed this one up. So, let's see. This one is going to do it like so and like so. And this one is just going to place it somewhere over here. Uh-oh. I don't want it to congest. Yeah, because now this is happening. Alright, so let's see what happens if we move this a little bit further out. Ah, there we go. Now it's working. Flawlessly. Yes. Still, not as good. This one could move a little bit further up. So that there's not multiple entry points, but just one. Like so. There we go. Much nicer. Much nicer. Right. So, the copper is good. The iron is congesting. Everything else is congesting. That means all of those are just crafting their stuff. And it just depends on time. Or... yeah, that one is congested. That one is congested. That one takes time. Okay, wait a minute. The further we go into the production path, right? Then the longer it takes, it seems. Because there's this motor here, this engine unit, takes a very long time until it's finished. And it needs all of those previous objects as well that it depends on. So this one depends on this one, depends on this one. And they interdepend on each other, which is really iffy. But... actually, no, it's only the crafting time. That's somewhat weird. Why does it take so long? 10 seconds craft time for this thing. And this one is how long? 6 seconds craft time. Yeah, that's it. This one is like a half, whatnot. And then this one takes 24 seconds craft time. And 67 seconds for everything. So, maybe in order to make sure that we have an even input versus output for the time used, that means we have to get more end product than starting product. So what I mean by this is that it's not just one line which supplies it with one item each, which is actually quite nice if you think about it. Very, very simple way of doing that. Yeah, we're not doing something like that, but we're rather doing something like a pyramid production scheme, something like this. But we are not coming from the start from over here, which ends up in one end assembly. But we are starting from over here and supplying it with all of the different varieties, of course. And then the whole thing basically goes maybe a little bit onwards. Like sometimes you just have to move it down like so, right? But in the end, you end up with like the end product like that. Actually... what I can try to do in order to make sure that items like these, right, that can supply maybe multiple other assembly machines. Okay, either they are just right next to each other like this, or what happens if it's needed again somewhere down the road? Then I would need to place this in a different kind of fashion. But anyway, how would I do this? How would I do this? How would I do this? In this case, I could try to... I could just try to copy and paste the whole thing. And try the whole belt going around kind of situation. That would be the best, actually. So that would really be the best. So I don't need to supply everything with items. Okay, except for this one. This one needs to be supplied an additional item, right? This one is coming from an assembler. This one is coming from an assembler. This one is coming from the outside. if you randomize the whole thing, then it just makes stuff regardless of its order, right? Randomness. If we introduce randomness into it, we don't need to think about it. We just have to place it and just scramble every input and output, and maybe just have a certain tendency to go a certain direction for the processing. So down and right, let's say, or down and left, or up left, or whatever. So similar to the laboratories. So in this case, we go like, if you look at this one, for example, this is placed very bad. This one goes down and down, and then left and left. So it has a tendency to accumulate down here, so that all the product is getting pushed through down like that. So it does not go back, right? So the inserters actually need to go the right direction. Like if I flip this one, for example, not going to work. But how would I make that work? How would I make that work? I could really try to make multiple belts around it that just flip the product about, and at one point or another it will be evenly mixed with things. So how could I do this? I could try to do what? Oh, this is so amazing. Wait a minute. I think I got it. It gets more and more complex and more and more simpler at the same time, right? So in this case, we have a row of assembly machines, right? And then what we can try to do is let them produce stuff. And then we have like a belt coming around it. Okay, let's just keep it simple like that. Okay, at one point it gets actually the items, right? Bam. So actually this is a wee bit iffy. Like that and like that, right? So everything is going in circles all the time. And what I'm going to do here is I have an input, an input, an input, an input. And then I also have an output, an output, an output, and an output. And the only thing that I'm going to change here is this, basically. Maybe gear or whatever, right? This is the only thing. It takes the items that it needs in order to fill the whole thing. And it does its thing automatically, right? I don't need to set anything up. Only thing I need is, I need to supply it with an awful lot of resources that get shoveled about. That's the only thing. So that there's no deadlock, right? It has to go around all the time. So like that. Actually. Ooh. Oh, okay. That could actually stop, right? So this one goes forward, 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 forward. And at one point, it will actually stop going anywhere, right? Because it is completely gridlocked. Because if the supply just go, let's say it. Let's see. Maybe we can. Actually, I don't think I can make this work like that. So we have some coal, of course. This is just there to show the whole thing. In this case, the coal is coming from this side, right? And then it goes into the inner side of the whole thing. Möbius style, right? But at one point, let's see what happens if it goes all the way around. Does it stop? What happens? Or does it get pushed to the side or something? Let's see. Also, I need to have a faster belt in order to get everything. There we go. See that? Interesting. Now it's only on the inner belt. That's an interesting sorting mechanism. Very interesting. Okay, so what... Oh, no, wait a minute. The upper side. See that? And now it's stopped. The only thing that's now happening, or that's now going around, is like this thing. Completely gridlocked. Okay, so if I have an input line like that, then it would just stop at one point. Because it has either too many items or not enough room. So in order to make sure that there's always product going in and going out, what I need is either more lanes and splitters, which mix up stuff, or I take the product away from the inserters and I place this, let's say, in let's see, how could I get this one out of here? Anyway, so yeah, I get the product out there like that, basically. That one is sadly not working, does it? I don't know if that's working or not. If it grabs the chest or if it doesn't do that. Let's just power the whole thing, though. Let's power the whole thing. No, it grabs too far. Sweet. Okay, so I can't do that with the setup. So yeah, you need slightly better setup for that. So let's just move this a bit to the side. So you have to adjust for like grabbing distance, of course, of your inserters and stuff like that. So we can insert something like that and something like that. Let's take this one away. And also, what's the thing? There we go. So now we have it in that chest, right? And now it gets placed out there again. So now the whole thing is going. Let's see how long we can actually do this. There we go. So at the end point, it won't work anymore. Like, if it's completely full, it won't turn around, right? This is the problem. If I take this one away, everything is moving, right? It's only this input field here that makes it stop. That's the thing. So this is why you need a fast inserter or something like that. Where's the fast inserter? I don't have fast inserters. Yeah, that one. But there are stack inserters, which are much faster. But stack inserters, I think, need space. So maybe a fast inserter might be even better. Hand stack size 1+1. Then we have the stack inserter, like that one. 1+3. Yeah, it needs space. I would say going with a fast inserter is the simpler solution, because I don't know if we can actually fill the belt if it's full, right? But if there might be just one teensy weeny bit of space that we can utilize. So anyway, we go for a fast inserter like that. And then the whole thing would just work. Because we need to take the input and put it on the belt that always goes in circles. And if we have this... let's say... If we have something like... Oh, actually, no, this is better. Much better. Or is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. Because... Or is it? I think this is better. Yeah, this is a better setup. This might be a much better setup. So, anyway. Kind of. Okay, it needs a space on the outside, though. Maybe a grabber would be much better in terms of that. So, let's see. Let's go for the fast inserter again. Place that here, do a little bit of test here. There we go. It just takes it and places it wherever, right? This is good. This is absolutely good. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's keep this randomness factor and just supercharge the whole thing. And maybe have a certain bottomless pit here where all of the additional products are getting placed in. The only issue is I don't know how to mix the whole thing, right? Because it only grabs the outside, sometimes the inside, sometimes the outside. Yeah, they have a tendency to grab the outside, but what about... Sometimes they... Okay, that's weird. Sometimes they go and grab the inside, sometimes the outside. But when it comes to placing the whole thing back on the belt, they can only... They only seem to be able to place it on the outside, though, not in the inside. Yes, that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, this keeps everything fresh and moving, which is good. Good. Maybe the direction is also somewhat important, right? So that you have the input inserter and the output inserter, or the outsider, have a different way of pointing things. No, okay. The direction doesn't make anything change. It's always on the outside. No. Either it goes towards the right or it goes towards the left. But anyway. Ay. The thing is, what kind of products are getting placed? Yeah, wait a minute. I do have some other things in here. Let's see what gets grabbed. Let's just fill it with stone. Let's see, what does it take? It takes stone out of it. Still takes stone. Stone still. It could be that the stack thingies are going for the one that is last in line, so they go from the bottom here. That's not good. I wanted random. What's this? Circuit network. Not connected. Okay, now we know what the circuit network's benefit might be, right? Because what I want to do is have some random pick for all of those objects. That's the iffy bit. Because it seems that it only picks the last one in line. So if I go for stone, now it picks up stone. If I take this one and pick this up here, now it's coal. So the inserter only picks the last one on the line and empties it. It does not randomly pick anything which is in here. The only thing, though, right? The only thing that gets taken out of a chest on purpose is when the inserter is actually connected to one of those assembly machines. And a chest, of course. Then the whole thing works. So I can't use it as a buffer, because in the end it will happen that there's just one last unit like that one, right? This is the coal. And the coal gets emptied out a little bit further and further and further and further. But then new coal will just arrive in here and fill up the same space. So maybe what I need is a certain tendency to get more output than input. So there's a drive to empty the whole thing, right? So that means I need a fast inserter like that. It's able to clear out the last batch faster than it gets filled. So it can go to the next one, and so on and so on and so on. But let's say we have two coals on the end. Then it chooses the first one. No, that's always a tendency to get more output. All right. So... That's just a nice way of mixing the whole thing there. Actually, you don't even need to have the belt that complex, right? You can maybe even scale it down slightly. Wait a minute. So that one goes away. That one goes away. That one goes like that. And that one goes down to the left. There we go. So this is basically your belt. And everything that sorts stuff in here is basically attached to other stuff. So now there's nothing blinking anymore. What I can now do is have like multiple chests in here. And maybe I have a very specific crafting pattern that I'm gonna do. And then I'm just adjusting the inserters in order to filter specific items in or out of those chests. That could work. The other way would be to only make one of those slots available, so there's no mixing between slots, and there's only like stuff getting taken in and so on and so forth. The problem with the chest, though, is that there's only one way it can go, either in or out. In this case, what I need to do is like move the whole thing slightly down so I can have like an input and an output on those chests. Yeah. Iffy. Still not as complex, though. Still not as complex. The nice thing with all of that is that it may not even matter what kind of building I'm gonna place in here, as long as it can be managed with an inserter setup. That's the only recommendation, the only dependency on that one. I could try that. It sounds like a very, very decent thing to do. And then I can also intersperse it with labs, right? Labs? Oh, actually, that's a good idea. Because labs are where the stuff is actually getting used up. So, can I maybe stop this building from doing stuff? I don't think so. And this one is not going anywhere because... Yeah, because nothing gets produced anymore. So something happened. Let's just go back to the base. Check up on... Oh, wait. I wanted to get a flamethrower, right? Let's make ourselves a flamethrower. The best weapon. And we also need some of the steel plates. How many steel plates do we have? 80 something. A decent amount. A decent amount. What about those? 109. So it does fill up a little bit. Yeah. This is the thing. If you try to connect it and make it perfect, right? Then there's always a little bit of fiddling that you have to do. But if you make it random, then there's always some connection that happens. Always. So it always goes forward. And the only thing that you need to increase in order to make stuff happen is speed. This is so genius. I think we just figured out something that's absolutely glorious. Okay, how do I get crude oil? I think I need... How do I... empty crude oil barrel? Yeah. Fill crude oil barrel. Made in assembly machine. But how do I fill all that? I mean, flush crude oil from entire fluid system. Then it is gone, I think. Or can I get it in my inventory somehow? Like solid fuel. That's one way of carrying that, I presume. But I can't take it out of here. I can't handle that. I think I really need barrels in order to make that work. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. We need a simple assembly machine like this. And it's going to make us some these thingies. And it just needs to be filled, right? We don't care about anything else. It just needs to be filled. So. Right. Now, how do I get the crude oil into the barrel? Oh. That's weird. Okay, so you cannot get it from the silo for some reason. You can also not get it from the refinery or the fluid system. The only way of getting it out of there is through this system right here. Temperature 25 degrees. Very interesting. That's not working. Okay, how do you... Okay, I cannot get the crude oil out of here. How do you get it into barrels? Fill crude oil barrel. Okay, maybe you can't do this. Yeah, you can't do this by hand. Of course you can't do this. It's red. Okay, so in this case I need to have this thing here. What about the flamethrower? It says it needs crude oil, right? But it can only be produced in a... Oh, really? Not because I don't have the right stuff for it, but because I can't make it by hand. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so let's get ourselves some of this set up a little bit. The steel is going to be used up almost entirely when it's up down there. I want my ammunition for the flamethrower. Therefore, I need an assembler like that. And I need to get some more steel going. There doesn't seem to be that much steel here. Like, look at all of this going on. I think I could fill this the other way around, so it makes me more steel. Let's take that one. Right. Let's see if we actually end up wasting too much of the precious metal. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, that's stupid. I didn't think about it. Anyway, let's take this one away. If I take this one away, then I get all of the ingredients. Right. So, now it's gone. Thank goodness. And this one is doing it fairly slowly. So it does not supply it with a decent amount of resources. Yeah, I just need more. Nah. Not quite happy about it. Not quite happy about it. At least now it still goes on normally. So it always gets facilitated with it, and it does not lose iron to the top. Yeah, I think the ratio up here is good. 1 to 2. And this one gets turned directly into steel, and it doesn't go upwards every now and then. Alright, so that might work. That one is going to accumulate slowly but surely. And what am I going to do with the steel? In this case, I need a splitter that splits it in... Cannot read, of course not. Yeah, that splits it somewhere over here. Then I'm just going to take that, move it all the way down here, and like up there. So now time to make an assembly thingy, and I need the crude oil to come out of here. Wait, this one is petroleum. Wait a minute, how do I? Just crude oil. Ah, there we go. No, I get it. I need to get this one down, like so. Really? That's not working? Like so. And then it goes to the left, like that. Perfect. Now I can actually attach something on that silo. Ooh, that's close. That's so close. Yeah, empty crude oil barrel. No. Fill crude oil barrel. And it needs crude... Ah! It gets another input. That's cheat. That is just such cheat. Absolute cheat. Whatever. So, crude oil goes in here. So, steel goes in there, and of course it needs more electricity. Bam. Right, and then we need this and... what other thing? And even more steel. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. So this one fills it up. And then... with a filled product, maybe we can use the flame from... What happens if we just go with a flamethrower ammunition? It doesn't work. Huh. That's weird. What about flamethrower turret? Whoa. Absolute yes. But where's the... Huh. That's weird. Maybe I need another assembly machine for that. No, that's not working. Okay, something is off. This is not working because I need crude oil. Do I have crude oil in my inventory? I have some barrels, yes. Oh, I need to... I need to get the barrels first, of course. The barrels. Right. Barrels. Need to turn it into barrels first. Ugh. Right. Let's go for a normal crafting thingy like that. That should do it. So. Barrels. There we go. So, this one is going to be used up. That one is now this thingamajig. Let's just take that. Now we have some crude oil. And it's... Still don't know why it's not working. Flamethrower Ammo. Or maybe I can only make it in a slightly better assembly machine? Which I don't have that? No. Maybe it's a chemical? Ah, maybe it's the chemical plant. Maybe I have to make this here. Yes, there we go. Okay. The more you know, the more you know. Okay. So, yeah, it does need, what? Yeah, steel plate. So this steel is still coming from that location. But as I now figured out, I need a chemical plant to make that work. And chemical plants have a very, very iffy way of getting set up. Correct that. Let's take that one over here, take that one over there, and that one over there. And this one is this stuff. Perfect. Now it should work. Just takes a little while. Now I know why it was a drop for the recipe and not some barrel stuff. Because it has to be input in liquid form. Like that. But it would be nice to know where it can be crafted. Made in chemical plant. Oh, reading helps. Jesus Christ. Reading helps. Made in. Very important. The first stuff is ingredients. This is basically what you usually look at. But the made in part is what is even more important, right? Like there are some things in here, products that are made in, there we go, assembly machines 2 and 3. So this one cannot even be made in a simple assembly machine. Anything else can either be crafted by hand or by the first assembly machine. What about this one? Okay, every logic thing can be done by hand, which is pretty sweet. And I'm probably going to figure that out at one point or another. The steel is still going strong. The ammunition, max size 100. Okay, let's take one. See how that works. Rotating assembling machines. Oh, yeah. If they have an input. Some recipes require fluid input to the assembly machine 2, such as electric engine units. They need some lubricant, it seems. An assembly machine with a fluid input can be rotated by using R while holding the cursor over the machine. Nice. Alright, the more you know, the more you know, the more you know. And this one is not... Does it still somewhat? I think it just gets stuck at 36 because the line might be congested. Anyway, I wanna... Ah, sweet. Actually, I should have saved before. Look at how quickly we power through all of our flamethrower like that. This was 100 units. Or what was that? Magazine size 100. This was 100. Area of effect 2.5. Applies effect duration 30 seconds. The damage per second is 100. Plus 40 per second fire. What is this? 140? Maybe the initial blast is a... Nah, that's just weird. Movement speed is 80%. Maybe while shooting, right? Yeah. This one says Yeah, this one is just 5 and 3 physical, whereas this one is damage 100 per second. Absolutely amazing. This is good again. Ah, yes. The extermination tool. Creates 1 fire. Lifetime 2 seconds. Damage 13 per second plus 5.2 per second. Fire. Oh, okay. So the unit at the end, the fire, is supposed to be both numbers. It's just that I have increased weapon damage, and this is why you have the plus so and so many. Like, let's say the last number here, it says 13 seconds, which is the base amount, plus 5.2, which is the one from the upgrades, I think. I think this is it. It just does not show the actual numbers. It gives you more information, which is pretty sweet. Right. I still need more flamethrower ammo, though. I mean, it does take a little while, and there's definitely not enough steel coming in, even if... yeah, even if what? That one takes a very long time. Does it actually run dry? No, it's always going. So that means that one supplier of sheet, of iron plates, is enough in order to supply one of those thingies here. Okay, crafting speed 2, crafting speed 2. Okay, now I just need to know what this is. 16 seconds craft time. And how long is 5 iron plates? 5 iron plates, 5 iron plates, 16. Yeah, 3.2 times 5. So it's roughly 15 seconds. So just for actually 1 second it runs dry. But this is something you can actually wait for. What I can try to do is just get another setup of 2 of those. A burner and another thing in there. So, wait a minute. I need the burners and the burners and the burners and the steel. That one needs stone. Bloody stone. But I can make stone myself, right? I have a certain amount here that I just got rid of. Where's the brick? Brick. Oh, it has to be placed in the furnace first. I have to burn it. I have to make a furnace to make the whole thing work again. Oh, this is so ridiculous. I just want an electric oven to power the whole thing. That would be so sweet. Okay, so in order to jumpstart our little research a little bit, so let's just take all of that. We're definitely going to improve on that one. Wait a minute. I want at least a wee bit more than that. 2 of those. Let's not accidentally fire this. Oh, that would be shite. So back to the base though. Back to the base. Oh, look at that supply. That's amazing. So why is our research not working? I don't think that's the... Oh no. Oh no. Ooh, I hope it's not the aliens. I just hope it's not the aliens. So, there might be some congestion. This congestion stops every... No, there is no congestion. I set it up in order so that it does not get congested. So why is it not working? That one needs piercing rounds and... Oh, okay. It goes into the chest. This is exactly what I meant, right? There's a situation where there's not enough mix in here. And then it just fills up completely. That's not good. In this case, it would be better for it to go directly into both of those assembly machines. But it's actually very nice to see the whole thing congested. Ah, it's perfect. So, let's save real quick. Also, I can definitely get a little bit of these. Alright, let's get some more ovens. Where are they? Where are me ovens? There we go. Right. There's a fast inserter already in here, right? But it wasn't fast enough in order to place everything in here. This is how quickly those... Yeah, there's like 1, 2, and 3 against 1, which is slow. The crafting speed is the same, of course, but... In this case, what I need to do is like get a direct input in here and not buffer it in this wooden chest, or at least get 2 different wooden chests, one only for the transport belt and the other one for the other stuff. Or I could connect it to the circuit network and then make it only input this stuff. Ooh, do I really have to go that far? Do I really have to do this now? Looks like it. It looks like it. So how am I going to get this in here? I mean, I could place an inserter on here. That means I have to get the belt bent upwards and then downwards again or something like that. Yeah, I could make that work. So let's skip that whole process. Wait a minute. Yeah, the steel's going in here. Then there are an awful lot of ammo. Oh. Okay. What am I going to do with all of my coal? Let's just place this at the coal storage location. Like half. No, control and half. There we go. Much easier. Still want to keep a few units, just in case. So, and the piercing rounds are fun. Whoa. Ah! Shit. Not supposed to happen. Not supposed to happen. Picking up individual objects in here is a wee bit weird. So, this one is going on. Then this is buffering in here. But this, I think, has a similar problem, right? So, let's get rid of the... Oh. Get rid of the buffer. What do I have in here? Control click. Control click. Control click. So what's happening? Alerts. Entities are destroyed. Oh! No! No. Thank goodness it's only this one. Okay, where's another gun turret? I need another gun turret. There. Okay, I think they are coming from the west, not the north. Which means they have to come from over here. I don't know what happened, but they definitely happened. Not cool. Absolutely not cool. Ay. So where's my other pump? Somewhere like this way, and then I need some pipage. There we go. Definitely not what I wanted. Also, yeah. Definitely not what I wanted. This was so unexpected. Yeah, let's take that one. Get rid of this and that. And what I can do is like move it like so, move it like that. And now it has all of the items that it needs. Let's place all of the walls in here. Good. And this one here, I am going to bend upwards, as I said. And I'm going to tunnel through this. Like this. No, this is wrong. Like this, and then I'm gonna bend it over like that. Get an inserter which inserts from over here, and another inserter which inserts over here, and now the whole thing is working. Whew. Okay. That's perfect. But still, why on earth? What about this one? Iron plates. Okay, I need more iron plates. What do I have in my inventory that Ah, copper plates. Okay, I have too many copper plates. And pipes, actually. But pipes and copper plates are good in order to make things, so be okay. Where was I? Metal. Yes, metal. Okay, let's hope that this works. And I wanted to make a scanner real quick. Could you... You can click on this right click, left click, but you cannot move it one slot to the left, so prioritizing it or something like that. You can... Oh, control shift makes everything. No. No, you can't go control click. Or right click. That's not working. What I want to do is like place it in here and then just grab it and move it further forward, right? So that it has like priority access or something. Okay, now we have one of those placed. Let's just grab this one over here. Do I have a few? No. Oh no, wait. Half of them maybe. No. Like control shift makes everything. I don't want to make control shift stuff. Control right click also doesn't do stuff. Control right click doesn't do anything. Clicking makes ones. No. Need another way of making sure that this works. Anyhow. What does the map say? We know nothing. That's what the map says. Alright. But I'm definitely going to save now and continue with another episode at another time, because it gets extremely complex and I want to make sure that I actually have a lot of walls around. Wait a minute. So let's make sure that this thingy is going to be secured. Look at this. I don't even know if an enemy can pass through here or not. Are they actually intelligent enough in order to make that work? Let's go for this. No. What does it need? Steel plates. Yeah. Yeah, I can go through here. That means the enemy can do that too. They damaged this power line here as well, which is not good. That means I need backup power. Like... Just so. Just in case. Just in case. Let's just repair that. Or maybe I just drove against it by accident at one point. That could also be true. Maybe there are certain buildings that are not getting attacked. Maybe it's only the pollution that they attack. So this one has pumping speed, but no pollution. It doesn't say anything about pollution, which is weird. I can't select pollution. Wait a minute. Production. Pollution. What's going to pollute the most? Assembly machines, pump jacks, oil refineries. Then we have steel furnaces, boilers, and electric mining drills. So they go for the electrical stuff and they go for the production stuff. But they... Okay, they still attack anything that's on their way. But why didn't they go for this one? Oh, because I had some guns here. But none of them actually shot anything. They're still maxed out when it comes to stuff like that. That's weird. Okay. I need to exterminate them in the next episode. As I said, until next time then. Like and subscribe. Ta-ta.